You know those moments when a single piece of paper sparks a whole idea? That's what happened when I found these 6 adorable Easter bunnies. Today I'm turning them into the sweetest tag, full of fuzzy cuteness, vintage layers and a soft splash of glittery magic. We use sparkling paper, maybe handmade labels, and of course again the same background I have always used for the 100 tags in 100 days. And for today I chose this adorable printout, and I will leave you all the details below in the description. So let's start with the fussy cutting. Here I'm using this very tiny scissors. They have a little bit of a curved tip, and I love using that one because it allows me to do this very fine work. You can see here what I learned with the fussy cutting is not so much actually cutting and moving my scissors, but actually here you can see it a little bit better, moving the paper with the object on it. So like the scissors more or less, they stay still. Here you can see it, I'm moving the paper. And with the flowers below her ears, here you can really see it, how I move the paper, because it is especially important when you have these tiny little bits and pieces. Here you can see how I move the paper back and forth rather than actually the scissor and trying with the scissor to go around the corners. Can you see? And I guess many of you might already know how to do this, but I thought some of you might not, and I found it so helpful when I started fussy cutting when somebody explained it to me. Okay, but while I'm doing the fussy cutting here and the preparation for the tag, I actually thought about Easter bunnies. Like, they are so cute, but then I thought, why do we use Easter bunnies and like give each other eggs, chocolate eggs for Easter? Like, where does it come from? And I looked it up and I found the Easter bunny tradition originates from ancient pagan customs, particularly the Germanic festival of Easter, which honored the goddess of spring and fertility. Look at her, like, isn't she just the cutest? What I always do when I cut out or fussy cut, I go with distress oxide ink around the image. You can see there when I leave a little bit of a white border around the image, because if I use the brown distress oxide ink, it looks like it becomes part of the image, and with that blends nicely in, and it allows the image to stand out from the paper a little bit more. Rabbits were the symbols of fertility due to now I have problems reading to you. Rabbits were symbols of fertility due to their high production rate, and eggs represented new life and rebirth. And here I have another little rabbit, and I thought I'd show you this one because here I'm using a craft knife. I find with the string from his swing, it's sometimes not so easy to use scissors to cut them out. So using a craft knife helps because the image is lying flat on the ground, and so the very like tiny little bits and pieces, they are easier to get. Can you see this here? So it's, and then I adjust the like little corners or so, like the little bits and pieces. I'm using my scissors then to clean it up more or less here on the feet as well. Yeah, just the little bits. Of course, if you use a craft knife, you need a mat under it, and to be really careful and make sure it's you use a very sharp knife for that, otherwise you are tearing your paper. Same here, because it's so fragile with the strings, that I put it flat on the table and then go around with my Distress Oxide ink. Look at him again, like it is, oh, he's so cute. I will cut out all the other ones and then I come back and decorate the tags. Another thing I found is that German immigrants brought this tradition of the Easter bunny to the United States in the 18th century, where it then merged with Christian celebration of Easter, symbolizing the resurrection of Jesus. But today, like, the Easter bunny is such a popular figure. It's like delivering eggs and treats to children, and with that embodying still the themes of fertility and renewal. But yeah, let's go back here to our tags. Like, first I would like to decide, you might have seen, like, I'm using 6 backgrounds, because usually I only made 5 tags in a row, like of the similar sort. But because I had 6 Easter bunnies, I thought, no, I definitely would like to use all 6. And here is my glittery paper. Don't know if you can see it on the video, but it feels a little bit like sandpaper. It's rough and has these glittery little pigments on top of it. And I thought, with the pastel tones, it looks so much like Easter, and it is from the tone so fitting to all of my Easter bunnies here, that I thought it's a beautiful addition to the tags, even though I don't know quite yet how I will incorporate it. But let's see what the muse comes up with, my Easter muse. So let's start. Let's have a look at our sparkly paper. I thought today I'm using my border punch. I'm not using that very often, but I think it's ideal for this project. Like the whimsical border here, it's like, it reminds me of flowers, like a flowery border. And I love this border punch. Like, when you align the top pattern, you can punch the entire line down, like as long or as far as you want to go down. So I think it looks really nice. And the color scheme looks so beautiful, or so nicely fitting to all the tags. And I find it looks like vintage wallpaper or something like that. What do you think? I could put it on the bottom, on the side. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Can you see this? It's so delicate. Yeah, no, I really love it. And then I have this paper here. There, again, with these little sparkles, there are little birds on it, and like pinkish flowers, and all in these pastel tones. And then I thought, my own paper, my own coffee dyed and food dyed paper, like with the eggs we dye for Easter, I thought dyed paper, like colorful dyed paper, would fit really nicely to the project too. And then I thought spring melodies and maybe some words, but yeah, let's see. But the music sheets, I don't know. Do you know specific Easter songs? I afterwards thought, like, what kind of Easter songs are there? Like, there some I remembered from when my daughter was little. But yeah, so I thought, let's play around with the different papers. I will definitely again link below in the description a link to the video where I show you how to make this coffee and food dyed papers, because they turn out so nicely. They have this marbled effect that we also sometimes can get on our Easter eggs, but here you can get it on your papers. And so if you are interested, please go check it out. And here I thought I might like to layer with, here's a little bit of a book page. It's a dictionary. But then on the other hand, it is a little bit busy. I think I like that, something like that more. Oh, it's so cute. With the little umbrella, and maybe I can tear this. So to give it these rough edges, like to mix up the cuteness of the bunny with a little bit of roughness of the torn paper. And let's have a look here. I might use the other ones with some of the other tags. I like it when I use something similar in all of the 6 tags, because with that they give this little group of different but similar tags, and so to use them in a similar junk journal later, I find it creates some cohesiveness that I really enjoy in my junk journals. Yeah, that's cute. Yep. Oh, and this, I'm not so sure yet. Let's see. We can decide later. I like this playfulness, like trying it on and like feeling into it. Does it fit? Does it work? And so it always needs some time for me to really get a feeling for what fits, what doesn't fit. And here you can see with the Distress Oxide ink, the side, the border really stands out nicely. When you then put it down to the background, it really elevates the object or the different bits and pieces. I have forgotten to go around my objects with Distress Oxide ink. I did it with the first ones that I cut out, but I forgot to do this with the second ones. But I can do this now. I just noticed. That's not a problem. Okay. So, what about you? Are you doing some Easter crafting? Have you prepared a journal, an Easter themed journal, or some Easter themed ephemera? And how are you? Do you celebrate Easter? Not everyone is celebrating Easter. So are you celebrating Easter? And if so, what are you celebrating? Do you go to church and celebrate that way? Or is this for you like a public thing where you like have some Easter egg hunts that you prepare for the children in your family? Let me know in the comment. I would be hugely interested to hear what your Easter celebration looks like. Here I use my bone folder to press it down, which is not so easy because, as I said, it's a little bit like sandpaper, this paper that I use here. Oh, I definitely would like to use a little bit here of the red and coffee dyed paper. It fits to the umbrella and it grounds the little Easter bunny nicely on this tag. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Yeah, I sometimes find it difficult to know where I want to glue it down because I can't see the end of the tag at the bottom, and I would like to add some writing on the bottom. Here I'm tearing it, just not cutting it. Sometimes I like the fuzzy ends when I just tear it. I find it makes it a little bit more rough, but yeah, so this really leftover bits, I'm using my scissors to clean it up. Yeah, pressing it down. Here we go. Here we go. I have these quotes here, And I found on this particular sheet some Easter quotes, or some quotes that like fit to Easter. And for this particular one, I found like cute as a bunny. And I thought there's nothing more fitting than cute as a bunny. And I used my normal craft glue that I put into this little bottle with a very, very fine nozzle, and so it is easier with the fine opening to get some glue in all the tiny little bits and pieces that I cut out while fussy cutting it. I really enjoy these Easter tags. Yeah. Yep. So what do I do at the bottom? Do I want to anchor the quote a little bit further? If I have a little bit of the dictionary page, but then I have writing on top of writing, and I don't think that it's standing out nicely. But I will use the other food and coffee dyed paper. This has a greenish tinge. I don't know if you can see it nicely in the moment in the video. I will show you a close-up later where I think you can see it a little bit better. But yes, I will use definitely that one at the bottom. It layers the ground the bunny stands on nicely. Yeah, it's like it gives it a little bit of like a perspective, or like a depth to the tag. A little bit more of my craft glue. So cute, so cute. Okay, and my little quote here. Yeah, there it is. Cute as a bunny. And I can just glue it on. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Now I need to make a tag out of it. And for that I have to cut the corners. I would like to make sure that I'm not cutting into the umbrella, so that I cut it by hand just shortly above it, turn the corner around and use it to measure the other side, so that I cut it on the same angle. I find it looks a little bit more professional. So no, I really like it. And because I am really challenged with just eyeballing the middle of my top tag, I'm using my ruler here to actually find the middle, and then use here my punching tool to punch the hole in, so that I can later attach a ribbon to it. Okay, let me show you one more tag that I decorate, and then if you stay to the end, I will show you a flip through all of the tags one after the other. But maybe let's decorate a second one together. Do I want this one? Oh, the one with the swing. Oh, it's so hard to decide because they are all so cute. And maybe with this, she's not standing out much from the background. Okay, maybe let's start with the little tag here. I decided to have 5 large tags and a little one, because the bunny that is sitting in the teacup, it felt a little bit lost on the large tag, and so I decided I'm using one of my smaller tags for that, and then just cutting this one to size. Yeah, I just don't measure it, I'm just holding it close to my tag, and then I can cut around it, and with that I know exactly that the size is fitting, so we don't need to make more fuss out of it. Let's have a look. Here, little bunny in the teacup. So, have you ever heard about teacup piglets? Like, they are also so cute. I saw YouTube videos about teacup piglets. Like, look it up. It's really, they are the cutest. But in the moment, I have the cutest bunny here. Sorry, I went off topic here. Let's have a look. The red on the bottom is taking something away, I find. But, yeah, like the music paper. So let me have a look. Yeah, that works nicely. But again, there is some writing at the bottom. I definitely, because I would like to have one of the quote on each of the tags. So yeah, I think I am gluing a little piece of paper here on top, again to anchor the quote on my tag. Going around with Distress Oxide ink as usual, making it a little bit smaller, just so it fits better from the proportion. So let's have a look. Yeah, again, like a quote. And this one is very fitting, just says Happy Easter. Happy Easter from this little bunny to you, from me. I hope you have Happy Easter and you can celebrate with your family or friend or your community and can celebrate the beginning of spring, which is always interesting in New Zealand. Originally, you might hear from my accent, I am from Germany, and so when we celebrate Easter in Germany, it's actually springtime. But here in New Zealand, it's the start of autumn. So it's a little bit upside down or a little bit out of sync with the seasons. So that is always a little bit funny when we have this kind of seasonal celebrations here in New Zealand. But nobody minds, like people celebrate Easter nevertheless. So, and why not? Why not? It's a beautiful celebration. It's a beautiful like moment to come together and celebrate together. Like so. I don't mind. I don't mind. That's nearly take number 2. Just cutting off the corners and adding some ribbon to it. Again, like before, turning it around to have both sides the same. But now I think let's come to finishing all of the tags with some ribbon, cleaning up the mess that I left on my table. And I think it's time to show you these little beauties. So, where to start? Let's start with that one. Some bunny loves you. Look at her with the wooden panel behind. Then you have seen that one already. Cute as a bunny with the rose and this pink ribbon. Yes, the layering of the coffee and food dyed paper. And here, this one says, the promise of all things made new. Again with this beautiful background. And this one here, the string that holds the balloon is a real string. I thought that's a nice addition, and it says spring is in the air. So, it's another beautiful one with a little bit more of a masculine feeling to it. And this is Here Comes Peter Cottontail on his swing. Like one is nicer than the other. And this one you saw. Happy Easter, my friend. I hope you enjoyed today's tags. You enjoyed watching me craft them and feel inspired to do your own Easter crafting. For now, I wish you all the best. Celebrate, enjoy life, celebrate the renewal. Bye for now.